I see. We peer into the void for this one. Hold on. All right. See, I survived. Listen, the explosion was so strong that it took me into the Shadow Beyblade realm. And we're okay now. I think I can go next on here. There we go. All right. Welcome to the Week in Review, where we recap the previous week and anything extra. Surprisingly news, but not what you would expect. Yeah, by the way, as much as I would have liked that Beyblade X in my hand right now, for the situation, I have to basically just wait, which is our topic for our live today. And Royal Kaiju is going to be helping out. So shout out to Royal Kaiju for any of the help stuff. But yeah, I think it's time we get started. Okay, next one should basically be the week recap. So I'm gonna scoot on over there. So for the recap, Monday we did the stuff with Dragon. Basically, whatever was left over for Beyblade X, I basically tried to manage. Tuesday, we had the app stuff. Yeah, so I mean, there was certainly stuff for us to do. Wednesday, there was some drawn sword stuff for some battles that we did. Thursday was KnightLance, which I have to now give a disclaimer. This is the first time you saw on the channel KnightLance, I guess. There's Manga Chapter 2. Awesome 3D print from Crazy Aries' work. Shout out Crazy Aries, by the way. And a pretty big week, I have to say. Pretty big week, all things considered. But obviously, and Saturday, the episode review, all that stuff. Then we went over the poll. So there was certainly quite a bit of stuff that we were able to do. So back to me. There you go. All right. Now, we're going to go over kind of the big deal, which is affecting everybody. First of all, actually, before I go over that, I'm sure you may have seen on Friday, Takara Tomei decided to hit one of the videos. Now, I have to say, if you want an update to that situation, I am getting it sorted through contact with YouTube, and that will be resolved in 10 to 14 days. So I will find out my response eventually. Most likely it's going to get lifted because they literally just can't do that. It was, by the way, to give you some context, that's actually the segue into this. Before I get to the delay thing, because I can actually go back on here, it's the actual app. So, fun fact, the actual app was delayed for the actual launch, and we're going to go over why that happened. And also, the Battle Pass itself, for the launch of Beyblade X, if you want to be critical on Takara Tomei right now, TT definitely did not plan properly for the launch of X. That doesn't mean quality control, that means what launches and that kind of stuff is very, like the Battle Passes especially is very underproduced. Like the Battle Pass is super hard to get. Mind you, before it was already hard to get for price import, that type of stuff, but even like now it's like ridiculous. Also, why was the app delayed? I wonder why the app was delayed. So if you did download the app, or you managed to somehow download it, you'll notice they were trying to test out all the notification stuff and everything. I don't think the programming was even that done for the app. I think it still needed time to go, regardless if they managed to launch at one date or the other. They basically had it where the next 2 months were leaked by Takara Tomei themselves, and that's a big oopsie. So that's why that original video, kind of got hit. I don't think that's, by the way, the sole reason for why this stuff is the delay. The real reason would obviously have to be that Battle Pass is underproduced and the app already had a lot of stuff they had to go over and fix. So if you are wondering for that, that's pretty much it. But any opportunity I get now to clown on Takara, hey, I told you, if got clown on Hasbro, got clown on Hasbro. But TT, like I said, it's equal here. Now, the big thing, which you saw me post on Instagram, this is not even just for mallabase.com if you ordered, which this is actually this affects everyone, unless I guess you somehow went to Japan or something. But yeah, everybody's stuff is getting delayed. Everything. Takara Tomy produced a limited supply. This is not like stores in Japan, people who get to the base to import, like the suppliers are getting a limited amount from Takara Tomy. Like everything is a small amount. That's why it doesn't matter who you bought from, where you ordered from. Major delays. So that is the situation. Like that is unfortunately how it is. But I do have to do this now. If you did order from allabase.com, I have spent lost sleep trying to make sure whatever is understocked that we are waiting on to basically get that stock on. So I'm pretty much all right there. We pretty much are now already making up for the difference for whatever's missing. The only thing is because of the time it takes just to wait for this stuff to arrive between this week and, well, I'll say late this week and 100% the following week, a lot of the orders are going to get shipped out, whether you ordered from Canada, United States, United Kingdom. Yeah, I have to do that. So, I mean, you can think of it two ways. Either you can think of it that they did not prepare properly, obviously, or you can also think that it did better than their expectations for how well it sold. I think it's a mix of both. I basically have now called this like the Beyblade amiibo. Like, if you remember amiibos back in the day with like Nintendo, those things were like, I think like poorly stocked or whatever, and the things just went out like fast. So, yeah. Even for me, for reviews, okay, actually, we got some good news. I'm going to be able to review something tomorrow, so I have no idea what it is. Whatever comes first is what I'm reviewing, so you will probably see, if everything goes well, hopefully you'll probably see either it's an unboxing, then the following day a battle, or unboxing and a lot of unboxings on the other stuff. I prefer to get the unboxings out of the way, then do all the battle content. Obviously, again, like, it's not how I would have wanted it, but again, that's like, it's the situation. So please be understanding for like content. I can't, everyone suffers. Everyone suffers the same. This is not just like it's a one-person thing. I think it sucks for everyone, obviously, because obviously we want to the base, obviously want to see our favorite content creators, whether you watch me or anyone else, you know, to cover Beyblade X. So, you know, unfortunately, that is the situation that there is. So, just so you all know that. But I want to now go over this part, which is really interesting to talk about. So if you recall, I did a video on like the second video on the Saturday, basically talking about the poll stuff. So TLDR, if you go on that original video, you have to have a VPN set to Japan, and then you use a link and you can vote. It's basically for each gen, 3 options, 3 options, 3 options. And then after, that's the first step that they're doing. Afterwards, there's the next session of a voting period where it's going to be specifically Bakuten Shoot Beyblade, then after specifically Metal Fight, and then after specifically Burst. So I will be covering the voting for each one of these generations, if not in a live, you know, find some way for a video. Now, what my assumption is most likely that they already have templates ready, and I think probably they'll ever go with what's most likely voted that they already made something for. That's what I would assume. But, yeah, and by the way, to vote, you can use a free VPN. Like, I think any free VPN works for the thing. You don't have to use a paid VPN. I have a paid VPN that I use, but you don't have to. It works free, whatever, just to do that stuff. So for the results and everything, we're only going to find out, by the way, like a lot later on. I suppose whatever makes it in the second session is probably what got pretty popular. I would Bakuten Shoot, I'm not too knowledgeable on that. I know Metal Fight, probably stuff like Galaxy Peg is probably like the second season and 40 maybe are going to be pretty popular. I have no idea what they're going to do. I know it's a very smart idea to say the least. Burst, I know easily. Valkyrie, Spriggan, Death Scyther, Excalibur, those probably are the top 4. Yeah, those are like really popular. Even thinking about like the Legends poll and whatever, those are pretty popular motifs, I would say. Yeah, and also to address here, to address on here, yeah, it's very quick and easy to do for the thing. If you are wondering about this, my friend, I basically addressed this a little bit earlier on in the stream, but I will give you the TLDR. Basically, Takara Tomy made low stock, so there's going to be a little bit of a delay for Beyblade X stuff because of that. So if you are wondering on that, just to address that again. But yeah, I am very, very excited, by the way. I think there's about a minute or so delay, so if I don't address something, I do apologize, but... Okay, we're going to move this here, because now we're going to go over kind of this session where we talk about whatever is kind of left over for the stuff and my plans for coverage. So, for some of the other Beyblade X stuff, okay, so for these recolors, all right, Wizard Arrow is still my favorite one. We're going to go over this again. Listen, I had to basically now make up the discussion that I lost because I had to remove those videos so T doesn't try to hammer me again, which they would still lose, but that's besides the point, but... for these videos, because these are the exact same Beyblades as the original ones, you're probably going to see these a lot shorter than whatever the original review is, and think of it as like a quick summary for anything. Okay, now between the four, can I set up a poll? Actually, hold on. I will set up a poll. I believe I can. We're going to set up a poll right now. Okay, so I'll keep this poll for the rest of the stream, and I'll review at the end. Which is your favorite... out of the main four? So we're going to do this a poll right now. Drawn Sword, Hellside. Actually, I have to put it together because it's actually officially together for the thing. Wizard Arrow. Obviously, you know, capitalization you have to. And then after Knight Shield. Hopefully I didn't do a typo there. So we're going to do a little poll. We're going to come at that at the end, and we'll try to go over that in then after. So whatever your favorite of the main four is, you know, go on the poll because I'm curious. I have my personal bias, okay, but... I'm curious on what the fan favorite is, because I think Knight Shield is maybe the least popular, but I'm not too sure. I suppose the opinions will obviously change once we see in battles, but I always feel like there's always a certain bias to certain types and everything. So, yeah, hey, feel free. I am Wizard Arrow gang, okay? We stand a Wizard Arrow on this channel, so that's what we're going with for now. But for the other stuff, for the Start Dash set, I'm really actually excited for this. Even though we already reviewed Drawn Sword, the Stadium, I really want to feel the string launcher because I've seen videos from Japanese Twitter where the launcher looks so smooth. And also, to mention this, because I obviously said this a month ago, for Beyblade X, I will be making sure to document if there's any things with mold specifics to watch out for. So that way, if you are getting Beyblade X, if you were worried about a specific mold, whether it's wear or something like that, yada, 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 or weight maybe, maybe some molds are generally higher weight than others, something like that, I'm going to make sure to do my best to document it. And also, if there's any serious, consistent Beyblade X wear, you will see me do an update video probably by the time the month ends. So I want to make sure I clarify that I am on top of this. I want to make sure that everything is documented. Also to mention before I talk about the 3-on-3 sets, obviously for the circumstance and everything like that, for testing for the competitive channel, I will do my best to try to get all the testings. It depends when I get this stuff, but between the week span. Obviously, you know, me and my father work together for the video stuff, whatever. Plus, we got to prepare all the order stuff. So, most likely, I will have my mother assist me with the videos for now, just because we have so much on our plate right now to manage. So, you'll get to look forward to that and that commentary, I guess. Yeah, but for the 3-on-3 set, very excited for that one, just because of the Knight Shield. But aside from that, listen, hold on. We gotta appreciate. The 3-on-3 set, the recolor is actually not that bad. I still think the weakest visually is that Hellscythe, but it does come with like the ball that looks like the orange Sagittario thing. So, yeah. Oh, I watched Peter Pig's video and it looks like it has about 11.5 rotations. So that's close to a long sparking launcher. I remember, I forget what the ripcord count is, but I do think, actually, this is good to talk about now. What I think is that you can potentially, if you have a winder, that's the appropriate term. If you have a winder, you can probably get to a similar strength to a string launcher, but I think obviously the max of the string should be higher than the ripcord, but I guess it depends how hard you rip, because right now, the difference between a string and a ripcord is kind of small, but that's usually what it is at the start. But I'm going to see. I love using ripcords. I'm very ripcord biased, I guess. But if string ends up being better, I usually just shift to string. But I don't know for X how much that'll matter, except for maybe the stamina stuff. Stamina, that'll probably matter quite a bit. Ripcord, I think, was 8 or something. Yeah, so that's still pretty notable for the string. So, yeah, more or less what I just said for the coverage for that. But very, very excited. After that, I'm going to give meta predictions. But I want to talk about KnightLance. Now, I got to do a disclaimer on the channel, right? Because the TT Ninjas are actually real. That's actually funny. I always said that a few years back with the Korokora, I mentioned this thing before in a video that this thing is real. And the situation happened with like Leo Burst and like Marie for the Korokora. No one believed me. And then after it happened to my channel, I hit on that video. So yeah, the ninjas are in fact real. But listen, these are all official pics they released. All right, they can't get me now. Okay, but KnightLance. By the way, the one thing the app was inaccurate on was definitely the colors. You can definitely tell, by the way, it is raised. So basically the whole idea with KnightLance is counter attack, and it is very, very tall. The blade is I think it's even a little bit more raised than, by the way, the Wizard Arrow. I think Wizard Arrow is already a little bit raised, but I know this one's raised by a little bit more. I don't know what difference that's going to make, because if it's that tall, I'm assuming that should hit the ratchet, no? No, the thing is, and someone pointed this out, shout out, by the way, Stealth, I believe, from the WBO Discord, because they told me this, that if you look on the official stats, I think it's like 80, 70, 60, and 50. So 50 should be the lowest height that we get to. So probably right now, for the height stuff, it's not going to be too important where these matchups will matter. Probably once we get the shorter stuff, whatever, probably then after we'll get closer to kind of middle fights, maybe for how it works for the meta stuff, but... yeah, for the parts and everything, what is this? Oh, 480. 480, right? Yeah. The colors on it look pretty good. High needles. A taller version of needle, and it's a little bit different on the base on the bottom. I think it's a little bit more pushed down, a little bit wider. I would, of course, get pictures of references, but we already know how it is, huh? But yeah, for KnightLance... we'll see. I don't... and for Beyblade X, to clarify, and I talked about this before, but since that video is gone, I have to talk about it again. It's not literal defense, because literal defense means if something hits you, you're like holding still, you're tanking it. Their idea is more like counter defense. So when it's like tipping the hits, that's their idea. Now, it's not incorrect for how they kind of have it. I'm just curious, how effective is this going to be? And I guess, obviously, we will find out. By the way, I found out why, because I was talking to my friend Keo. Apparently, because it's going to be a long weekend in Japan. That's why they did it the Thursday. That's why they did the Thursday on the August 10th. And I was confused. I'm like, what? So hopefully I can get it. I want to at least get something on time. Hopefully there's no delays with KnightLance either. Oh my god, that'd be terrible if there was. But yeah, I basically wanted to cover that. Now, I'm going to just double check on the chat. I am from America. When will X release in America? There is no date yet. It is just 2024. We don't know when. Hopefully, eventually. Okay, any other chat? Well, let me double check to make sure we don't have anything else. Yeah, but my plans literally just go with the flow on this one. I'm going to double check on the poll right now. Ladies and gentlemen, let us look at the results. I will be reading it out loud. Drawn Sword at 44%. Fair enough. Hell Scythe on 25%. Just changed as I talked. Wizard Arrow at 18%. We got some Night Shield fans. They exist at 12%. It's fair enough that probably the two main ones. No, well, technically the three, all four, technically the main. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, it makes sense that the blue and the red are kind of most popular. They're fair. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, here you go. When do you think the KnightLance video will drop? Now, my friend, it's going to be entirely dependent on whenever I get it, because I basically have to wait. I have to wait. So I think the first video will it depends whatever arrives tomorrow and over the following days. I think the first video is drawns are funny enough, so I guess it'll be then. But whenever I get, you're going to probably see consecutive, and I want to do a lot of battle stuff, whatever. So probably this week will be a little bit disorganized for uploads, and then after the following week will be a lot more organized. And I will also be doing summary videos for the bays, most likely, on the main channel. Maybe I'll try to see, because a big thing with Beyblade X and in general with Beyblade is the competitive content. It kind of gets underlooked, and it gets, like, no attention. And I really want to make sure for X that people are informed on the bays and really know how to, you know, use them, what's good, what isn't. So that's why I'm really making an effort to make sure all the content we do here for Beyblade X is going to be really informative and obviously fun, because we want to win, right? So I do want to address that. But we'll go over any other stuff, but I think aside from the main stuff anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. Is there anything else in particular I wanted to talk about? Yeah, for main bays, you know, we'll get around to it. Actually, predictions, by the way. I want to do this properly. So for the main bays, okay, we're gonna see. So we're gonna try to go back to what I said, by the way. We're gonna try to see if I get this right. But let me first read the chat before I do the prediction stuff. I've heard performances between the clear and the white stadiums due to texture. Will you notice that when the Start That Set review, if that's a thing? Yes, I will check to be sure. I'm a little bit curious what they mean. If it means they kind of go maybe more fast or something, or the surface. I'm very curious on that. Because between the green one and the red one, they're basically the same. They're both the basic white. So, yeah, I'll make sure to double check that for sure. Why didn't TT make enough stock considering that a bunch of advertisers a couple events so they know it's popular? So basically, you got to consider all the other markets in Asia and all that stuff. And because, like, there are sometimes where it becomes such a success that it's too much demand for what they're doing at the moment. So probably what happens is they had like a set expectation, like, okay, we're going to maybe do like 5, and then after they got like 10, right? So sometimes that happens. I have to wait till 2024. At least I can order Beyblade X's in Japan or other markets include Beyblade X. Am I right? Yes. But like for the stuff, it's only going to be like a couple months, whatever. So if you're waiting on then, you can wait then. But it's going to be a very long wait, my friend. What creature item would you want it be in a Beyblade's name? I already got that with Shark Edge, and if you're wondering what Shark Edge is, I can show you in a couple of weeks. Or if that video comes back up. If that video comes back up, I'll show. Actually, I think it's still on the Twitter or whatever, so I guess that works out. Is this the return of Wide Defense? Oh, this was about KnightLance. Not quite there, not quite there. It's a little too stretched for that. Ratchets look very cool for the colors. Yes. Aside from that, when you think the KnightLance... Oh, wait. No. Oh, God. Did I read this wrong? Or did they mean shield or lance? Oh, God. I think I misread that. Yo, if I misread... I probably read that as Knight Shield. KnightLance? Dude, when does it come... I'm sorry, I just realized... Listen, I'm sorry. They have the same name. It's Knight at the start. Oh, my God. I read that as shield. I'm so sorry. Probably this Friday. I'm so sorry if I misread that comment. I just realized, wait, there's shield and there's lance. I'm sorry I confused the two. I'm sorry. Do you think the rest of the main bands have sort of variant? I would be very intrigued by this. I think when I was talking to Kyo, potentially some bays could just be anime exclusive. That could also be a thing. If you remember Bakuten Shoots Beyblade, like they did a lot of variants of a similar motif, like Dragoon, Drigger, Drasil. So I'm assuming, you know, we could maybe get variants. I would obviously like to see like unique motifs, but who knows? Maybe Multi owns that bay or something. I have no idea. Or someone else does it. I'm a little curious. I mean, either way, they at least feel a little bit different. Do we think Bird will ever win a battle? Let's say, yeah, they're doing Bird not too good, huh? It's like Bird's kind of like the main. I know it's the group, but Bird's kind of the main focus, and they haven't won anything yet. So we got to see next. I can't wait for Bird to lose again. Actually, you want to Common X? Common X is kind of sweeping, man. But Common X is like a pro. And if you're wondering the context, there's the chapter reviews, by the way. Okay, now we're going to go back to what I was saying. Okay, yeah, predictions. What was I going to say? Okay, here we go. So, definitely for right now, I think Drawn Sword will be the best for attack, just because of the weight. Because Drawn Sword, I think, on its heaviest, I've seen is like 35 grams. And, you know, like plastic, when it's grams different, like in burst, it's a little bit different than when it's like metal. Very, very different, by the way. No, I mean, they will not. They will not do it. 3D print if you want, but no. But no, what I was going to say. For Drawn Sword, yeah, Drawn Sword is going to be at the top. Flat will be better than Taper for overall attack, but for consistent stamina, Taper will be safer to use. Hell Scythe, I think, will be probably decent. It'll probably be like a jack of all trades, where it's like it can do attack, it can probably do some defense, like some like Hell Scythe already feels like a very balanced type in its design, so I think it'll be kind of neutral there. Wizard Arrow, we're going to go a little bit spicy on the prediction. So obviously Wizard Arrow to me I think will be probably the best for stamina. But I think, and this could be just because I think of Vulcan in my head and I think of like Beat Lynx kind of, but I think potentially Wizard Arrow might be pretty usable for attack. I think she'll probably be good for like actually good for attack. Probably like attack versus attack, where I think it'll be pretty good. I don't know if it'll be good for like attack versus stamina, but I'll find out eventually. Needle and Ball Ball I already know is probably going to be like the best for stamina, obviously. But Needle, I've seen videos of a lot of people in Japan covering this. Needle I'm actually really impressed with for its actual defense. Like it does outlast Taper and Flat, so I think Knight Shield's going to be a little bit underestimated, actually. I don't think the height difference will matter too much right now, but that's pretty much it. So if you got any other predictions, feel free, but that's pretty much all I can give for those. Do you think the Battle Pass will come out before the app? Do you think the Battle Pass will come out before the app comes out in the US? Well, they have to have both ready at the same time, but wait, what do you mean? Okay, so you mean if the Battle Pass will be localized, will they? Okay, I don't even know if they're gonna do the Battle Pass here. I do know originally, the Battle Pass was written as like global, whatever. So if they do the Battle Pass, they do. But we would only, like anything, I want to say this just to be clear, but anything global related, I'm okay to answer here and there. But the answer is just I'm going to be repeating myself. You got to wait a couple months. Or at least a couple months, because I have no answer. It was 2024. It's not 2023. I got. If I have an update on global, I'll definitely do an update then. But Hellside is going to be the best overall and drawn. Yeah, 100%. This is basically what you see in the battles. Do you think they will make a jumpy or an uneven bay? Stuff. Yeah, of course. Yeah, stuff like the Quake gimmick that you can. Well, is it really a gimmick? It kind of is. Like it's basically a flat cut in half. Yeah, I think most stuff will definitely be stuff they do. Listen, they have. Right now we're at the start. I want to be clear. Right now we're at the start of Beyblade X. So basically, sky's the limit for them. But we'll go over a few more. Noel told me in his live chat TT's planning to make Beyblade an international championship sport to make famous professional bladers just like the anime. Yes, my friend. We talked about this. I can't remember how many lives ago, but if you remember one of the earlier reports on Beyblade X, if you recall, we were talking about like this whole thing when we're talking about like the official global stuff, whatever, the Masters tournament stuff, and I don't remember what video I covered this on, but that's what they want to do. That's like their big scale thing. I think it is in the Masters tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Like at the end of the year, in December, right? That's what they want to do. So there is a lot of force in the marketing for like official sports teams, official sports events. So don't think they're lacking in like the marketing wise. I say they're doing pretty good right now. So, fair enough. Shark Edge seems very jagged. Do you think TT will deal with wear if they have that shape? Do you think Shark Edge will deal with any wear? So obviously I don't have the image right now staring directly at it, unfortunately. But as far as I can tell, it looks a lot less sharp than Drawn Sword, so I don't think you're going to see the crazy wear that you would probably see on Drawn Sword. I think Shark Edge is going to be the best, and I'm not just saying it because it's a shark, I'm also saying it because it just looks like a better Drawn Sword. I think it'll probably outclass it. If I'm wrong, but I'm very, very strong on believing that. In terms of wear stuff, keep in mind during, what was it? It was Victory Valkyrie, right, where the wing broke off, and they addressed it a little bit later on. I don't remember how much the difference was. Like, that was so many years ago, but I do remember they did an updated mold. So, I do remember some stuff. I know Dronzer apparently might be facing issues, but if it's a plastic contact, you know, I'm kind of expecting that. But they'll obviously do mold updates. Don't forget for stuff like the metal drivers they always do updates, but it's usually only a couple months or whatever. So if we do get updates, obviously I'll make sure to stay on top. Yeah, Masters in December. Hoping we see some support for at least the creators in that space, where we too would be more involved in the West. Almost butchered that. It would be nice for T to be more involved in the West in that regard. Yeah, a lot of top creators in Japan and I think it's a very good marketing move. That's what they should be doing. It's kind of what Hasbro was doing. And the thing is like, I still don't know 100% how global is going to work. I just know the bays aren't supposed to be altered and they're supposed to be one-to-one with TT. But I do think they should be getting in contact with a lot of these big, you know, creators in the Western sphere, you know, J-Pot, you know, a lot of these top... By the way, shout out J-Pot, which she is returning with content. I can't really switch right now on the screen, but basically TLDR, veteran content creator, they are coming back, and I'm very happy to see. So, yeah, but no, I would really love to see that, and I think they should be involved. Actually, funny enough, because now under contract, and I can say this, I'm pretty sure, to my memory, the Baytuber thing that they did in 2020, where it was the digital app thing, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be in person, but COVID made it the Beyblade Burst app. Unless I'm gaslighting myself right now, I swear to God, I'm pretty sure they were supposed to do something like that. Will they make Cobalt Drake an actual release? Yeah, of course, but probably only later down the line. Do you think a gimmick type attachment for the bays will happen similar to the Phoenix ring? Possible? I don't know, because I think Kaiju basically said what I was going to say. Because if the bays go really fast and flying, and the armor pops out, that's like a hazard. I don't know if they can do... But they could maybe do something like Phantom Fox, or like what Crazy Aries did on Violent Diabolos, or Striker Drone. That, I think, is more possible. Yeah, but a lot of stuff, you know, varies and all that stuff. But I'd love to see an art. Yeah, I'd love to see them also get involved with Beyblade stuff. Oh, when is the Roblox event coming? I'm pretty sure, and I was talking to Kaiju about this. This is really strange. So right now, it's like the application phase for the Roblox event. And then after, it's like, it's a couple of months, whatever, I think it's only like October. It's later down the line, but it's like this whole process, whatever. So it's not really now. They were very vague on the details, so. Right? But aside from that, okay, I'm going to double check. We're going to end the poll right now for the stuff, and I'm going to just go over any final plans for this week. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at 180 votes, God bless all of you. We have Drawn Sword at 45%, Hellscythe at 28%. Oh my God, Wizard Arrow and Night Shield are now very close to each other. Damn. All right, see, I knew Multi could pull through and do it. I knew it. Do you think Beyblade X has the potential to make more? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Just right now, you can't expect everything at the start, just down the line. Okay, this is a good question. When do you think they'll release a separate launcher? What month are we on? July? I think... Well, I would say October, but if they're doing limited, probably November. I want to say November. October would be nice, but probably November. That's my prediction. Unless I get it confirmed, I have no idea. What's your favorite Bay? Wizard Arrow out of the bunch. Okay. Do you think Beyblade X will do more gimmicks? Yeah, definitely later down the line. Right now, everything's basic. Right now, stuff is just, you know, tall and short, whatever. So definitely later down the line. Like probably when they do like the second anime season, whatever. Then after probably they start to up it more and more. Drew answer because of the full utilization of the stadium. Yeah, okay. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, see, we got a common X fan here. Okay, final stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go over the plans. I'm gonna be reading over my plans for this week. So we're gonna go back here, and then after I'm gonna readdress the mall base stuff. That way you're informed. Okay, plans basically for this week. I'm getting something tomorrow. I hope it's more than one thing, but if it's just Dronzer, you will see the Dronzer review tomorrow, and then after, I don't know, whatever else I get. And it depends whenever I get the other stuff. And if I get other stuff, then I'll review other stuff then. But it's probably, I would say, either Wednesday or Thursday this week. It depends how things go for me. Depending Wednesday or Thursday, you'll probably see a huge influx of uploads, and I'll see if I do a live this week or not. Actually, I would really love to do a live, just maybe trying out Beyblade X, interacting with the chat, with all that stuff. I have to see. Actually, speaking of which, actually, I don't know if I can pull it up, but something else I actually want to talk about for the stuff is now the mall-based stuff while I get to another screenshot, but yeah, if you're wondering for the mall base stuff, we are currently, we're still waiting for all of our shipment stuff to come. If you did order from mallofbase.com, basically, we're going to try to get through like the second half of this week, the other half of this week. We're going to try to get all the orders shipped out, whatever. And then after the following week is probably when a lot more stuff is going to get shipped. I have to wait on basically all the stuff to come. I had to stock up on whatever we got undersupplied to us by our supplier, and I lost a lot of sleep on that, so I will, work with that. So don't worry, the delay is not going to be too big at all, really. If you ordered from our store, like, do not worry, do not worry. You are not going to see some insane delay, like, you're not going to be waiting till, like, September for the bays or anything. That's, like, if I ever heard that, like, September to wait to get the X base, no. Unless something happens where there is some crisis, right, where it gets super understocked, then I will make the announcement. I will say, if you had this order, I will send that at a later date. I do want to make sure everyone gets their orders on time. I do not like the fact that TT had to do this because it's not fair to anyone, but it's the situation, right? You got to work with what you have. Okay, now we're going to have to do a little bit of a little plug right here that I'm going to be adding real quick. But if you are in the Toronto community, I do have some special announcements to go over here. So just give me 1 second as I'm preparing it, because I did want to mention this, but we're going to keep it on KnightLance. So just stick around for a second before I wrap up here. But yeah, we're going to be hosting Beyblade X tournaments and events, and I'm very, very happy. I'm working with Dan, by like, shout out Dan from the WBO. We're doing our best for the X event stuff, so I'm now going to be importing an image. So next Saturday, and you can see this on the WBO page, by the way. Okay, so next Saturday is a Burst Standard event, but if you're near the area, obviously go through the admission process to try to pay ahead of time if you can, but Burst Standard event and Beyblade X demo there. And then after the following week, we're going to be hosting our first ever Beyblade X event. The following week after that, which is like, I think like the 29th, or that's whenever it should be. It should be, I believe, at High Park, I'm pretty sure, so yeah, make sure to sign up for that. Actually, I'm pretty sure the button's actually kind of broken for that, but I do want to mention that. So I will be covering a lot of tournament stuff to work on for that. But I basically got done with all any of the plugging stuff. I would plug Mall Bays, but listen, everything's delayed right now. I can't plug anything right now. If you want to get burst stuff, I guess I go for it. But yeah, it's a lot of work. Listen, we had to prepare so many boxes and labels. I had to go through all the stuff and everything. It's a lot of work to go through, but yeah. Anything else? I'll just read just in case. Do you think TTY had a different gimmick to the X Stadium? I think we stay with the gears. I'm pretty sure we're going to stay with the gears. I don't even know if they're going to change the stadium, but yeah, that's kind of it. I don't take up any more of your time. I got to prepare, by the way, for tomorrow for the X content, so let's hope for something else that's not If it's Dronzer, guys, then, or whatever you want to be addressed as, if it's Dronzer, then it's Dronzer we'll do first. And then after Dronzer versus Dronsword, I guess. Alrighty, well, hold on, give me a second. I need to do the explosion, alright? I'm ready for the explosion. Give me a second. We're going to go here. We're going to go here. Okay. I got my button on the explosion. So, I want to thank everyone for attending the live show for this week. Thank you for all the support, everyone. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. It's very busy to manage both the store and to do videos and all that stuff. So, thank you all for watching. I'm going to die in the explosion now, so bye.